Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Don't forget to hit the like button, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and definitely leave a comment. It absolutely massively helps the channel. But what we're going to talk about here today is a very quick thing, really, but it's something that's come up over the last couple of days, and it's a strange shift in SNP attitudes. Ever since getting rid of the Greens, and then yesterday announcing that they're going to abandon the gender bill, you have to wonder if the SNP's shift is from progressive leftist policies, are they moving more to the conservative right? Now, well, conservative, I don't mean they're jumping into bed with Craig Hoy and Douglas Ross, not that conservative, small c conservative. Are they adopting a more socially conservative attitude? And is this a result of having a social conservative now as Deputy First Minister? Is this sort of change of tack, not much of one, it must be said, it is only a small change of tack, but it is noticeable because it isn't just this gender drop. Now, is this as a result of Forbes coming in? Or has Forbes actually made an impact and said, look, not only do I want this, but let me give you the argument for it. And he's listened to her. It's possible because it isn't just, as I say, the gender bill being dumped. The new big push that they have, and they literally have for the last couple of days they've been pushing that, and it's all over the papers today, every paper's having it, is that they are starting now to make and highlight the problems with child poverty. Now, of course, it's only right that they do. After all, they have put so many children into poverty. They're continuing to put so many children into poverty with their existing policies, such as charging ever more tax, such as increasing the minimum unit on alcohol, which will only increase the supermarket's profits. It doesn't generate any more cash for the nation. But of course, for families of drinkers, those drinkers will continue to find that money. It's food off the table for the children. The attack on rental properties with all the various things they're going to do there makes it much, much harder for people to rent, therefore putting more and more children into temporary accommodation or no accommodation whatsoever, thus increasing child poverty. There are so many different things that increase it, all of which are laid at the SNP door. Now they're starting to address it. Is this a little shift in, social conservatism again? Is this Kate Forbes exerting an influence? If it is, I've got to say it's a good thing. It's a good thing for Scotland. I'm not saying it's a good thing for the SNP. They're still screwed. We saw that today. But that change could actually help people, maybe a little. Let's not get, beyond the first steps here. It is only sort of first step stuff. But there's other things as well that they're talking about. They're talking about reintroducing that, taking away this. There are so many issues now that they're just tickling under. They're not making big announcements on it, but the announcements are there. And if you can read the entrails, or look at the tea leaves, consult the oracle, whatever you choose, there's signs of change within the SNP. Small, subtle, but apparent. And of course, this is driving the Greens bonkers. They're saying that they're not progressive anymore. Just wait until they cancel the tax rise to encourage more people to stay, especially teachers, senior policemen, scientists, engineers and whatever, trying to encourage them to stay. And they drop that progressive tax regime they have. Jesus, the Greens will implode. It's great, isn't it? Now, if they did announce possibly dropping taxes, the Conservatives would vote for it. So they get that through. Don't even need the Greens. And if they're doing something to tackle child poverty, Labour will definitely vote for it. So they get that through. Don't need the Greens. All of a sudden, Greens? Who are the Greens? And this social conservatism will benefit the people of Scotland. Now, we don't want it to go too mad. We don't want the SNP to become popular. Heavens forbid. That's the last thing we want. But any improvement to the lives of normal people, and especially, I think, vulnerable people, any help for the vulnerable, absolutely fine. But for generally across the whole of the population, anything good is good. Now, I would suggest that given that the NHS is probably the number one concern and the economy number two, if they could start tackling, say, the NHS and the general economy, encourage the economy to grow, and importantly, roads, because you need good roads for a good economy, and also better roads, you've got lots of people going into the NHS, there's going to be fewer bloody accidents. So get those three sorted. I just put my hand up for 5, didn't I? Get those 3 sorted. And jobs are good, and people's lives will change massively. Dual the A9, dual the A96, fill the bloody potholes. See as Scotland improves almost overnight. Tackle the problems in the NHS. Massively do that. Abandon constant harping on about independence. Yeah, guys, we get it. You want independence. Sort your shit out first. Make Scotland a good place. Make Scotland a place you want to live in, that people of Scotland want to live in, that other people would come from other parts of the country to go and live in. And you might encourage those with skills, with knowledge, with experience to come and build. But while you constantly run Scotland down, while you constantly break everything that exists, while you're charging people more tax to pay for it, and services are falling apart, you're going to, first of all, no one's going to come to Scotland, not to invest in. And secondly, those that are there will pick up their bed and walk. They will move. They will move to where the jobs are. They'll move to where the opportunities are. They'll move to where the tax isn't great. They'll move where the services are sufficient that their family won't be endangered by having no access to, say, medicines or education. This is what needs to happen. And if the few tentative steps that we're seeing continues, and there is this slow, slight push to the right, and when I say push to the right, again, we're not crossing the line into the right of politics. We're just stepping slightly away from the extreme left. Then I think Scotland would be better for it. Certainly, some people would be better. A lot of people would be better. The Greens, nah, not them. They're all Marxists, aren't they? Anyway, there we go. That's just my thoughts on this. But it is nice to see this small C conservatism creeping into the SNP, and I do think it's all Kate Forbes' influence. John Swinney mustn't take any of the credit, of course. Till next time, stay safe, stay well, hit the like button, absolutely important, and I will speak to you later. Bye.